my chair.
Hi, guys.
Hello. You got the Puerto Rican flag up?
That is the state of Texas.
Oh, that's the Texas flag.
Because listen, to our still dope family, TT used to live in Texas for like 8 years. And I brought my flag.
You heard
I have my flag here.
The curriculum.
Yeah, we already know.
And worse.
But I'm bringing out the flag because we're doing Married at First Sight.
There you go. I said it's the Puerto Rican flag.
It looks like the Puerto Rican flag and the Cuban flag. It's a cross between the Texas flag, the Puerto Rican flag, and the Cuban flag. So
and the state that wants to get rid of all the immigrants, that's what their flag looks like.
Every single one of them.
All of them. Yep, that's exactly what it looks like. All right, so look at here.
You guys like the first episode?
Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute. Let me start this off and say that I can't possibly be the only person in the United States of America that is like, why do we need all these episodes of fuckery? I don't want to see the bitches 3 hours of bitches trying on dresses and men trying on suits and all that, bachelorette, bachelor parties. I don't need to hear all of that. I don't want to see that. Let's get to the weddings.
Exactly. I skipped the last hour because
I was fast forwarding.
Last hour is the best because it's the one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it was the one wedding.
Probably was. I was really trying to be, conscientious about the show and write and take notes and pay attention. And 2 hours in, I was like, I hate every fucking body on this show.
No, but guess what? All right, let's just start. Let's just start with I'm going through the couples. I got my phone here with all the couples. So let's start with.
I have changed my mind about a couple too.
I have changed my mind about several. So let's start with Michaela and Zach.
Because of the episode or because of the preview?
Yep, because of the
episode.
Now
that I know more, because of the episode. Now that I know more about them.
Okay.
So let's start with Michaela. Let's start with Michaela and Zach. And you, Shahida, you taking the notes, right? Of who we said we
right. I would have to go back. Yeah, we all three said thumbs down for them. Right. And that hasn't changed for me.
Yes, and that hasn't changed for me either. Chris, what about you?
One, I see how hard he is going to work for the marriage. Mm-hmm. I really think, and usually it's usually in these instances, it's the man who doesn't work as hard as the woman, because the usually woman in this wants it more. But he wants to be married really fucking badly.
But I don't think oh, sorry.
He wants to really badly, and his parents have been together for a long time. His brother is engaged. His other brother's, something, this and the other. I think his other brother may be gay, but I think he said something about a partner. Anyway, he really wants this, and he's always dreamed of being married. And she wants it too. It's just going to be. I think that may work now. I think it may work just because she needs to, in the therapy that's probably going to come up too with her in the relationship, the domination. I think she's going to dominate him a little bit. But I think he's going to really try hard. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not so like 2 thumbs down. I think they're going to do well. I think they're going to do okay. I think they're going to surprise. I think they're going to do okay. Because she wants to be married too. She's sick and tired of being single. Like a lot of women are, and he really wants to be married, and it seems like a really good guy and a good man.
He does seem like a good guy.
And I think she wants to get married, and I think she's going to work on it. I think she's going to work too. I think it's going to work out between the two of them. I just think it's going to.
Shahida, your thoughts?
I felt like my big red flag for him was the longest relationship he had was 9 months.
That he had?
That he had was 9 months. Then he said after that, it was just like, 1 month here, 2 months here, as far as relationships. So I'm wondering, for somebody that wants it so badly, and how old is he again? He's what, 27?
27.
And that's really still kind of young, that you couldn't really make it to a year in a relationship. Even my worst relationship, I made at least until a year before it was just like, okay, this is just not going to work. So his longest is 9 months. And I thought that was kind of telling, even though I feel like he, from the previews and from the things he said and his background, that he does want this. I wonder if he's equipped to understand how relationships work, even though he sees it with his parents. 9 months is very short for 27.
Go ahead, T. I have a comment on that. Go ahead, T.
I don't think he wants this. I think he has this dream or this fantasy of how his marriage, how he's going to be married and how him and his wife are going to be. I don't think this is going to work because he's so, he's so about, I want to walk in my house. Look, that's a fantasy. I want to walk in my house and see my wife and my children. Like, he kept saying that. He's like, I would love to come home and walk in the house and see my wife and my children playing and doing whatever. And that's my family. And I'm like, yeah, it's not the real world. Like, the real world is.
What are you talking about? How is that not real? That is like,
I think it's real.
When you were married, and I'm like one of these suckers around the winter time. It's something about walking into my house when it's cold outside and I walk in and I see my family. It just feels warmer to me. I mean, a lot of people feel that way. That the goal is that you come home to somebody.
I get that.
That's what he's saying.
I get that. But he was like, I want to come home to looking at my wife and my children like they're in the house and they're doing whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but your wife might have a job. And you might be the one picking them kids up and taking them home, and your wife walks in the door. Like, I'm like, no.
I don't think he meant it like, it had to be concrete. It could be a Saturday, like you come home from playing golf and you come home to I'm just saying he just wants the family unit. That's what he's saying.
From my perspective as a single man who
come on, Chris, bring it.
Semi-long relationships but never married, all that kind of stuff. I think for him at 27, if I was the same thing at 27, if I was him at 27, I would almost feel the same way, but this is forcing him to be in the situation that he wants. I think because his parents have been together, my parents were together for 45 years before my father. You see what a long-term relationship is like, and once you make that decision to be in that, you're in it. So you're even more like I have been even more. I have to make sure that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this person as opposed to just trying it. And, you know what I mean? So I think it's good for him to be, we have a woman for you that would be a good wife for you. Here she is now. And if you say this is what you want, work at it this way, and being forced to be in this as opposed to dating and I don't like this about her. I don't like this about her. I think this confinement to a certain extent, marital confinement, will be good for him.
Yeah.
Because if this is what he keeps saying, this is what he really, not just saying, oh yeah, I want to get married. He's like, I've written my vows before. I mean, he's like, I want to be married. And if he has a good woman who likes to have fun and likes sex and makes her own money, pretty, and she's sociable, and if she's attracted to him, he's a good-looking guy, I think it might work. I think the confinement is going to help him really just, he's unfocused. Like, you're dating, you're unfocused. Like, if I was 27, I would do Married at First Sight. I totally would, and be forced to.
Oh, me too. I would.
To marry someone, and then I'd have to work within the confines of what I have. So I think they have a chance. I do. Seeing how gung ho he is about this whole process and everything, I think he wants to.
But I think he is a little bit premature. I think he wants it, but I think that as time goes on, he's going to be like, yeah, that's not what I wanted, because he's not gonna conform. What do you think
about her that he's not going to want?
I don't really know. I just think that she's not willing. Well, I shouldn't say she's not willing. From the previous episode that we just watched, all of her people was like, you gotta, tighten up, and you gotta know what you want or whatever the fuck. And she's like, yeah, I know.
But their concern too was that she was very stubborn.
Stubborn, yes, stubborn.
Right. Yeah, and so that's my concern as well, because the way they were saying, because she said she's never been in love either, and so
no,
that's
and when they were at the bridal, the bachelorette party at the whatever they were at, they were all talking, and they were all like, yeah, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, and she was very regimented, like, I'm not gonna, no, I'm good. I'm not. I am who I am, and I'm not changing nothing.
I think the same thing confinement's gonna be good for her too, because she's gonna force to confront her, just like Vinny and what's her name? I always forget. Rihanna had to force herself because she was a bossy, particular, nitpicky chick, and now she is happily married to a dude that loves her and that's into her.
Yes,
and it took something like this to change her, and I think that's going to be the same thing with Michaela. And I like her too. I think she's a cool chick.
Michaela?
Yeah, I like her opinions about people.
I loved her in the bachelorette party. She was out there doing her thing, and I was like, "Yes,
spot on talking about people." She's like, "I think so." Bo is on balance. I think so. I like her. I think it's good. I believe. I want it to also.
I hope it works. Listen to me. I hope it works for them, but I am leaning towards that's not going to work.
Okay.
Michaela and Zach ain't going to work.
My opinion pretty much so stays the same, but I said in from the last episode that even though I don't think so, I'm not a whole 2 thumbs down. I'm only 1 thumbs down with them since you did that, Chris. And that was from the very beginning, because only reason I give them that 1 thumbs down is because I do like both of them. Like, I would hang out with her. He seems like a great guy for some woman, and I like that he wants to have, a family and be married. I do think he was a little obsessed with it. At 21 years old, he just seems a little bit obsessed with it. So There might be some of that fantasy part in it, but you can't have, that's just, I think that's normal to have that fantasy part that you want in a marriage. And then once you get it, then, it changes. Like, we all have that kind of, fantasy idea of what we want our marriage to be, right? Mm-hmm. So, and I feel like he has that, but I like both of them enough to really root for them. And
he has a good example of a successful marriage. That's another thing.
I was wondering about
Brianna didn't have that. Remember her mom, she didn't have that paradigm. He knows what a successful marriage takes, what it looks like, and what it takes, and he can get advice from his father or whatever, or his brother. I don't know, something. I think watching her being cool, and she's a cool woman, she's a cool chick. If she can tone her stuff down, or be open to her, calm her stuff down, and he can step up. The age thing is the only thing that's getting me. That maturity age thing might be a little issue for me. That's why I was saying thumb down before.
Yeah, well, because it's only a 4-year age difference.
Yeah, but that's in many years. That's about a 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it depends on the man.
About his mother at first, but I really think because when she was just like, why would you want to marry a stranger? I think she's going to be pleasantly surprised.
I do too.
I think she will really like Michaela. And if they have, and her family too was very supportive of her going on the show, and they were happy. My thing has always been, if you have good family support, you really have won a lot of the battle, because they're going to not just root for you, but they're going to root for the marriage
and support it.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, and I think the mother will be pleasantly surprised. I think she'll be happy with her.
I agree with all that. I agree with all of that, but I still think that marriage isn't going to work. That's just me. I give them a thumbs down. Sorry, not so
thumbs down too. I'm nervous about them. I can't change my view on them about them making it yet. I just want them to make it.
Oh, I want them to make it, but I just don't think they're going to make it. I just think that that's not going to work.
I liked both of their families. I really did. From what I saw.
Me too. Yeah.
I like both of their families.
I'm still saying yes.
All right, I say go with it. So you're changing then. So you're changing from your thumbs down to thumbs up. Okay.
I'm still thumbs down on that.
I've seen, of course, it's going to change. It always is fluid. But right now, I think they're going to make it.
All right.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But that's all good. All right, let's go to Johnny and Bao. I love them. I love Johnny and Bao, but Bao showed her ass with the whole when he gave her the gifts on the wedding day, and she was just beside herself with the jerseys, and that was rude as fuck.
It was all fear. That was all fear. That was all being terrified that she's getting married and trying to find something to protect herself. That was all fear. But once she got down there and saw him and they started talking, did you see that she hit it with them afterward after they got married?
When they were she walked down the aisle and she got halfway down the aisle and they were both like, oh my God, I know him. I know her.
He said, I think we're compatible. And she said, yeah. And I was like, oh, there you go.
Well, because she was like, he was, he was at UT. She was at what was she? UT. Oh, she was at University of Houston. Right. And they were both the presidents of the Vietnamese associations. So they always interacted with each other. And she's like, he was always the player doing his thing. And I've been there. Where I'm like, I like him, but he's the player, doing slinging his dick, doing whatever.
So that's good.
That's good. But now, when she said to him, it's good for her. But I like the fact when she said to him, yeah, there were people on my list that I was like, yeah, I told them these names off. If you come across these people, off. And then she said to him, but you weren't on that list. So it led me to believe that she really liked him.
No, because those are her list was people she had dated.
Right.
Just not people perspective. It was just
but she said that she said that in the
he wasn't on the list because she
wasn't on the list
because she never dated him. But because she never dated him.
Right. But she never dated him. But she was always. She said, I knew that you were out there doing your thing, and now here we are. And when he said, remember, she was like with the Tinder, and he's like, did you swipe on me? No, and she's like, no, but maybe.
Right, because he's a player, but that's good for her.
Right.
I think it's gonna be really good.
I think the two of them are gonna work.
Rewatch it with fast forwarding them.
I give them two thumbs up and my toenails.
She's so used to being in control of everything, of the relationship, everything, and that's why she doesn't want a player, because a player is going to play.
Right.
So I think she's like, oh, you want to marry me? No. You want to marry me? No. 3 times. But now, and the reason why they obviously had a connection somewhere, but she's like, I don't want to mess with that because I don't want to take that risk. I don't want to be out of control.
That's what I got. Through this whole process, I thought that there was a connection between the two of them.
Yes.
But because of, he was she was at UT or he was at UH, whatever the fuck. And the two of them were commingling and she was like seeing shit. And, he's a man, so he doesn't give a fuck either way. She's like, I think she liked him and was interested in him, but was like, yeah, no, I ain't fucking with his ass.
That's going to really work.
He's a player. But I fucking love them together. And I think they are going to be so good together, and I give them 2 thumbs up.
The same thing you were saying, Shahida, the family's going to support it as well.
Yep.
Yep. They're both Vietnamese, right?
Did his father come around?
No. His daddy didn't come around. But both of them agreed to do the tea ceremony, which I thought was fabulous. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming that from the previews, that's what's going to show next week. He wanted to do
a tea ceremony. She said, I wanted that as a requirement. So even without even talking to each other, they wanted the same things. And they're like, oh, okay. I'm telling you, that's gonna be
when she said, I insisted on a tea ceremony. Yes. She's like, I insisted. She's like, I'm glad that you requested a tea ceremony, but I insisted on that. I was like,
she's going to loosen him up just enough with his OCD. She's just less OCD than him to be okay. To bring him down to, you know what I mean? But she's a little OCD too, but he's really OCD.
But I think that this couple is Bao and Johnny. I'm just predicting, but I think Bao and Johnny is going to be the only ones left standing here at the end.
Oh, we'll get to the final thing. So we'll get to the final thing. 2 thumbs up on that.
I give them 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up.
I'm going to thumbs up from what I see of them, even though it sounds like I missed a lot.
Did you miss the marriage? Did you see the marriage at all?
I love the marriage. I even cried.
Wait. What?
I fast forwarded through it, and I thought. I saw stuff going on, but I was so bummed out from the first 2 hours. I was just like trying to get to the end. So
no, I watched the wedding.
Go back and watch it. Though.
I watched the wedding, and I loved the wedding. I got moist. My eyeballs got moist.
Yeah.
Like I said, and the reason why I fast forwarded too is because I really feel it's like a done deal for them. That's why. But I'm not going to do that again. I won't do that again.
All right. So before you go to the next couple,
and that's why they started with them too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's why they started with them to show also the audience and to make the franchise look good. Here's a couple that look like it's going to really, really work.
Right. But before we go to the next
couple. Let me ask a question, though.
Go ahead.
Are they the first Asian couple on this show?
Yes.
I thought so. Okay.
Yeah. The first Asian couple.
Okay.
Well, yeah, they are. Okay.
That's what they said. They said they're the first Asian couple on the show.
Okay. I thought so. And this is why I was surprised about the father, how he was so dead set against them having this marriage. And I'm like, because arranged marriages are popular outside of the United States.
You would think.
Yeah. No, they are. I mean, even in this, 21st century, it's still very popular. So I was surprised that he was just so dead set against it. I was weird.
I was too. I agree with you on that one. Where when they showed it and he's talking to his dad, and then his dad was like, I don't even want to be part of the filming, and they were putting up the wording, and I was like, wow, I think shocked.
His dad is just a hater. I think his dad is just a hater.
Yeah, maybe.
You think?
Yeah, I agree.
And their relationship is not close, but when he's like, I really want my father's, blessing on this. I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to let that go because it doesn't sound like he's been really involved anyway. So just go. Go ahead. What's the next one, Tanya?
So the next one is, oh Lord, here we go. Brett and Ryan. I still give that shit 2 thumbs down.
Rex and Ryan.
Brett and Ryan. Ryan, who has dated like over, what did he say? Over.
He said 50.
50.
He said 50.
Women.
But the other friends were saying thousands or something.
Yes, they were saying thousands.
He said 50 in the last 3 years. He says he's dated 50 women in the last 3 years.
Yeah, so I don't think this is going to work because I think Brett. I liken Brett, even though the last episode, the recent episode, I'm liking Brett to who's the guy that Mindy married?
Oh,
the fraud. Mindy. What's her name? Mindy last season that married the guy that was like, yeah, I'm not going to stay at your house. I'm not going to stay at the house. I'm going to take my dogs.
Thought he was real cute.
What was his name?
Guy.
Yeah, the workout guy. What was his name?
He was totally gay. That guy?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Did it come out that he was gay?
The model-looking guy?
Yeah, he was gay.
I think he's gay. I think he just did it for exposure and did not like her.
No, I agree with you that he did it for exposure, but I don't think he's gay. I don't know if he's gay or not.
He was I think that's just my thing because he didn't want to touch her. I have a hard time with this is just me, just my opinion, but I have a hard time that if you are a straight man and you get married and you have a wife and you don't have sex with her just even one time and she's your wife, there's something wrong.
No comment.
If you don't have sex with if you're married, even if you're not like, look, Haley had sex with Jake. Put it that way.
On the first night because she was drunk.
That was on the first night, yeah, because she was drunk.
And they were drunk in Vegas. That's what you do in Vegas.
Regardless, she still had sex with him just to see if it was going to be.
Okay, I got your point.
I'm surprised.
I get your point.
If he's this heterosexual man and you're married, he didn't want to sleep in the same bed with her. Now, either he's
in the same house.
He didn't want to sleep in the same bed with her, nor did like you said, Shahida, he didn't want to stay in the same apartment with her.
That's my point. She's not that repulsive. She wasn't that ugly, and she was willing to do it. Listen, we're gonna talk about this, but I think that his ass was all about the publicity. Exposure. I think that Brett and what's his name? Brett and Ryan. I got my names here. Brett and Ryan. I think Brett is in it for the long haul, but I don't think that's going to work. I think Ryan is looking. I don't know if Ryan is looking for likes or looking for followers and shit. I think Ryan is just confused. Ryan is out there fucking dating everybody. I'm changing my vote. I think they're going to make it.
You think so?
I think they're going to make it. Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm still on the thumbs down with them.
And the reason why I think,
and I don't know, Shahida, what did I say on them? Thumbs down or thumbs up?
And the reason I think they're going to make it.
Yeah, I'm still on thumbs down with them.
What happened to the thing? Can you see? Oh, the reason why I think they're going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why is because I didn't realize with him, he really wants to be married. And he's looking and looking and looking and looking. He really wants to be married. And look, the dude watches The Notebook. That's one of his favorites.
Come on, I've watched The Notebook, but come on, it's a movie.
Let me finish. He's a dude. He's a romantic. He really wants something romantic. And this is one of the most romantic things that you can have if you're put together with something and it works. I think he's going to work hard. I think she hasn't slept with anybody for 2 years. I think it's going to work now. I think it's going to work now.
No.
Her friends, what? I mean, they both like The Notebook. I think her friends mentioned that too. And they said that she's a dreamer. You know, she's very patient. She looks like, well, I'm not going to say that. But anyway, she seems like I can see them actually working. I'm not a fan of his yet. I like her.
That ain't gonna work.
She seems like a nice woman. So I would want him to treat her well. He doesn't seem like he's a bad person, but there's just something about him that's just rubbing me the wrong way. I think it is because he's like, jumping from woman to woman to woman. what did you not see in all these mini women that was not for you? So you should be able to have a good, no, wait, Chris. He should have a good, concise list of what he doesn't want and what he does want. If you've dated that many people, there was no compromise in any of those.
I think it's the same thing that we talked about with the other guy. I think he needs to be confined, and he needs to be like, no, motherfucker. You are going to marry her. If this is what you want, if you want to be romantic and this is what you want in marriage, this is the woman that you're going to marry. Because you have to believe the experts. And I think he was like, look, I've dated all these women and I can't gauge for myself and I don't know what's going on. I this and the other. And they're like, no. You're going to marry her. Why her? Because we know, we can see that you guys would be together. She wants it. He really wants it. I think it's going to work. I changed my vote on that one. I think it's going to work. I'm thumbs down. I got 3 yeses so far. 3 thumbs up for 3 couples.
No, I'm done with them.
I'm changing my vote only because I see her really working it out. He seems to be a little bit, in my opinion, not ambivalent, but just, he seems like he'll just be dragged along. You know what I mean? Not like he doesn't have an opinion one way or the other, but he just doesn't seem like a strong character person to me.
And I don't see her.
I know, it's weird. It's not.
No, I don't see her being like dragging him on, like, come on, boo, let's do this. I can see her being like, or she is who she is, and I can't see her being like, come on, bae, let's do this. But if he gives her blowback, she's gonna be like, I'm done.
From what her friends said, I think that she's softer than she thinks she might be. They're saying that, she's like super patient with people. She's she's a daydreamer. So she has a whole fantasy life thing kind of, mapped out for herself. And she really wants that, white horse guy and all this other romantic stuff. And he does seem to want to give her that, or a woman that. I'm just still not impressed with him yet, but I will give them a thumbs up for right now. I'm not
impressed with him either. I think he's boring.
That's the word.
Yeah, he's boring. I don't think he's very fun, but that has no bearing on whether the relationship is going to work. I think
I don't think it's going to work.
I think she's dynamic enough or whatever to, if this is what he really wants, I think he's going to work at it. I think for the men, it all has to be, are they willing to work at the relationship?
True.
And for the woman, I think it's like, are they willing to deal with whatever the man is giving them? You know what I mean? And I think
I don't know if I get that with Michaela, because I feel like Michaela will have to work hard too, only because of her personality. Her person. Okay,
I'm talking about working on the other person, like dealing with Vinny dealing with Brianna and Brianna dealing with Vinny. Vinny's tantrums and being like, "Oh no, I'm not having fun at all," and she's like, "What?" Like she had to. But she also had to deal with her own shit. Michaela really needs to do her own shit to fit into that. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
But with Portia, whatever, I even forgot her name. The one with Chris Williams. It was all about his person. It had nothing. It's working out with him.
Paige.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was willing to be. So I think Michaela has to work on herself. I think she'll be all right. But I think Brett. I think if they're both willing, if the men are both willing, I think it might work. I really think it's gonna work.
Okay.
I really think it's gonna work.
Right,
I still give them a thumbs down.
Up. So that changed.
I'm still my thumbs down on them. I don't think it's gonna work. All right, so let's go to Jose and Rachel. That shit is never gonna work. Period. End of story. He is too regimented. Listen, if I walk into your house and you have a whiteboard of your budgets and all your bills and all your money shit on there, I'm out. No. You ain't gonna nickel and dime me.
Well, I
respect that. I respect his hustle, but I can't be in a relationship with a guy like that. That's too much for me. Too stressful. Too stressful.
My thing is, I'm fearful for Rachel's self-esteem. Her friends are concerned about that too. That and she keeps going. And Dr. What's his name? Dr. Cal or Dr. Al, whatever. Dr. Cal or whatever. He was like,
Okay.
she's become this strong woman. This is not over a good long time period of time. She said this is over a year, and that's a year by herself.
Yep. Agree.
In a relationship and becoming strong, with a partner. And her friends are very concerned about that she's too accommodating, that, she goes along with whatever the man says. Mm-hmm. And
that's going to be good.
Him just running over her.
I think if she does what he says, they're going to work out. They'll be fine. That's the whole thing. I think he's more of a control freak than her. And she wants to be guided or told what to do. So I think that's going to work. I think it's more.
Maybe if that's what she wants, that's great. But I don't know if she really wants that.
I don't think she's a strong enough personality to know what she wants.
Yeah, that's my fear for her. I can see that.
You're right on that one.
And then she might just go ahead and be happy with somebody that domineering, in her life or as her husband. I just don't want that for her. I don't want that. I just don't like him. It's like the way he talks about his thing. I hate when people do this. Like, I graduated from college. I bought a house. I have my own. Like, those are things you are supposed to do. Why is that like, I don't really need to see that on your resume. I hope that you have, accomplished something in your life. But some people say it like it's like the biggest thing. Like, nobody does it. And that's how he says it. Like, so fucking what? You got a college education and you got a house. Duh, welcome to the club.
No, not only does he have a house, but he's bought several properties and paid them off. And he's doing the most. And I'm just like, okay, whatever, dude.
That's good.
I respect him for that.
I'm not a fan of his. He rubs me a little bit the wrong way.
He rubs me the wrong way.
I think she's very sweet. But she's also I have to see more, but I think it's going to work.
I agree. Well, I don't know. What did I say, Shahida? Last time.
Said thumbs down.
I said thumbs down. Yeah, I don't know.
I can see it working. I just don't want it to.
Yeah, I can see it working if she plays her position. Yeah, if she plays her position,
I'm sorry,
it may work.
Okay, go ahead. Say what you were saying because we were talking over each other. What'd you say?
I said if she plays her position, I can see it working. Otherwise, if she's like, that's not good. No.
Yeah,
he's not going to control me.
I can definitely see it. I can definitely see it working. I just see that vulnerable side to her, and I don't want that for her. Unless he changes, unless he becomes more empathetic, and we don't know him yet. We're just going off first impressions, and that's like 2 episodes or whatever. He could be somewhat different, in like 3 episodes after they've been married and show a very, very caring side. So until I see that he's more caring than he is rigid, I'm gonna say thumbs down.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be dominant, and I think she's gonna be submissive, and I think that's gonna work.
Okay.
So far, we don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
We just know them individually. But I think she wants to be guided, and I think he's a guider.
Yeah.
I think if they're even remotely attracted to one another, personality wise or physically wise, I think it'll work. If he's not attracted to her, that's going to be a problem.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that. But she is pretty. But she might not be. She might not be his type. Who knows?
So Tanya, you're going thumbs up too.
I'm going thumbs down.
Thumbs down? Okay.
I'm thumbs up.
I'm going thumbs down with them. I don't think that's going to work with them.
I'm at 4 for 4. 4 for 4 thumbs up.
You really did a lot of changing, buddy. Who next?
All right, so let's get to the final couple. Friggin' Gil and what's her name? Merla. That shit. I don't know what I said. Our last podcast, I don't know what my position was. I give them a thumbs down.
Really?
I'm changing my position.
A thumbs down.
I give them a thumbs down. I'm changing my position.
Before, we all gave them thumbs up because
we all thumbs up. I give them a thumbs down.
Say why we said it. We all gave them thumbs down because we felt like the chemistry was just going to be like out of control and they would just really like each other.
No, we gave them a thumbs up.
Okay, why are you saying thumbs down now?
I got this.
Why?
Why
are you going? Because the last episode we were all on the same page, and now what changed?
Okay, let me speak. What changed for me was when he was sitting with the guys, and he's like, I don't want no IG model. You know, I'll look at them and I like them. He's like, but I don't want to marry them. And she's over there like this with her camera, clickety clacking, getting for the likes on IG. That's fine. But then the bald head. Did you see the last episode when she's like, when her friends was like, you know, you don't want no man with a bald head. And here he is got a whole bald head. I mean, I guess that's fixable because you could just grow his hair out. But
maybe not.
Maybe not. But
he
then
might it off because it was falling out.
Yeah, and on the fact that she's not trying to. From the last episode, she's not trying to mend or not trying to mesh with him. Like they were at the bachelorette party, and she was so aloof and standoffish with all the questions, the conversation that was being had. And she's like, yeah, no. When they were like, will you kiss your husband on the wedding day? And everybody was like, yeah, if I walk down the aisle and he's attractive and we're getting married, of course I'm going to kiss him. She was like, no. Like she was so adamant about it. Like, bitch, you don't even know this man. Mm-hmm. Like you signed up to be married at first sight. And now you're going to sit here with your smug ass talking about, yeah, no, I'm not going to kiss him on the first night. On the wedding day. No, I'm not kissing him. Go ahead, Chris. Talk to me.
She's the problem. She is rigid.
Yes.
She is inflexible.
Yes.
She is opinionated. She's particular. I'm not going to let a man stop me from my lifestyle, what I want to do. No. In a marriage, you've got to compromise.
That's right.
She's not willing to compromise anything.
Nothing. She wants to do her trips. She wants to take her trips when she wants to. She wants to buy her shit with her fancy ass. I'm bougie. But she's like, I'm bougie. I want to buy my shoes. I want to buy my clothes. I want to do this and do that. And no, I'm not changing. I was like, ooh, that's a problem.
She wants or someone to just support what she wants.
Yes.
She is not. That's going to be
or finance that.
Right. Definitely finance that. And he, on the other hand, also, I think he's going to be turned off by her rigidness of like, but the only saving grace that I can see from that, the only thing I can see from that, if he's a Colombian man and he's an alpha man and he shows he's an alpha man to her, she may, okay. She may be like, oh, because she's like, I can't, you can't, no. And he's like, no, we're not doing that anymore.
That's what she needs. Yes.
That's what I need. And that's the only thing that I feel like if he sees her and he's like, I do want to be involved with this, but we're going to have to work on some stuff. You're going to have to like, compromise. I think he's willing to compromise on things. I don't think she is. But I think if he's alpha enough,
I don't think she's that 90s R&B love that he wants.
No.
He's like, he wants that 90s R&B love.
And when he showed up with the roller skates, I was done. He was like roller skating. I was like, ooh, come on, daddy. Why aren't you in my life? I'm going back to Texas.
He from the last episode to this one, this episode you saw a little bit more of his personality, whereas before he's just like I'm this type of person, I'm that type of person, I like this, I like that. But he actually showed it a little bit more in like his conversation with his friends and with his family. I do too. And I
absolutely love him.
I did it before.
I love him.
And I think before, all I saw was an attractive guy only wanting a very attractive woman to be arm candy. That's what I saw before. And in this episode, he just showed a little bit more depth to himself. So I like him. As for whether or not they're going to make it or not, I
don't think they will.
I am still on the fence. I don't know. I feel like I was really turned off by her this episode, but
and the only reason why I was turned off by her was when I was a fan of hers until she showed up to the bachelorette party.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when she went, when she went with her friends to tell her friends that she was getting married in 2 weeks, I let that shit go. But then when she got to the bachelorette party and she's just sitting there like, oh yeah, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm this. And I'm just like, well, then why the fuck are you here? Because you signed up for this shit. So why the fuck are you there? Don't sign up for Married at First Sight if you ain't willing to do the most. Because I applied for Married at First Sight. And if I would have got accepted, I'm too old, but if I'd have got accepted, I'd have done the most. I'd have been like, I'm here. Yes.
I think with her sometimes, and we've seen this in like other episodes and other women, when they're around other women especially, and I wonder about her, when they're around other women especially, they put up a wall, like so that they won't be judged about being maybe like loose or whatever. And it's sometimes it's easier for women dealing with other women to act like they're too aloof to certain things.
No, but it's one thing. Listen, no. It's one thing if we go out and socialize and go to an event with other women, but no, if we go out and socialize with other women that we don't know, and we put up this wall, because I do it all the time. But I don't go out, but whatever. But we're all
tomorrow, goddammit.
No, you damn right. But I'm gonna still be I'm gonna be aloof and I'll be sitting in my chair, not doing nothing. But here's the thing. We're all on the same show. Like we're all getting married at first sight.
Right.
So if I show up to the bachelorette and see all these 4 other women, we're on the same page. I may not know you and I might be a little standoffish, but at the end of the day, we're doing the same thing. So I'm going to talk to them.
And we're going to
I want my support and I'm going to talk to you.
She's not
I'm going to open up to these women and say, listen, here's my
not only that, she says, I don't want to do any of this stuff. I just want to be married.
Right.
I don't want the bachelor party. I don't want any of this, or the bachelorette party. I don't want any of that. I just want to be married. I don't even want the wedding. I just want to be married. And I'm like, yeah, you're not ready, or
it's not going to work.
It's not going to work. I thought it was going to work before. I don't think they're going to have sex. No,
when she said she wasn't going to kiss him on the wedding ceremony, they're not going to have sex.
And he has the bald head too.
I'm still holding out. I don't
and that bald head.
I don't know, because I saw like when she was with her friends, it was, even though they were saying you're too super picky, you're too highbrow with things, and like the whole I gotta get my eyelashes done like every single week. She's rigid on her maintenance. I feel like she's
too much.
No. I feel like she's dealing with some inner stuff. Because listening to her talk, especially to them, and then how her friends described her, maybe there's some trauma or something there.
Well, no, she had said in the last episode that she grew up poor and her family, they moved around a lot because they didn't have money. And listen, you, me, everybody, she moved around a lot because her parents couldn't afford the rent or whatever, and they had to go here, there, and everywhere. So she made it a point to make her life a little bit more
stable,
where she's like, I got my money, I'm making my money, and I have my apartment, or I got my condo, or whatever the fuck she's living in. And she's like, I ain't going nowhere.
She's the type of woman that will say, oh, he's a fireman? And not a business, not a lawyer, not this, that, oh, he's a fireman? Oh, okay, well.
But what is she, though? She's...
Exactly.
She's a social worker. Please. And we already know, look, we live in New England, and we already know social workers don't make they don't make no money.
But how is she getting all that stuff then? How is she getting her Louboutins and all that?
Well, I'm assuming she's getting that shit on Instagram because she's a pretty girl with a nice little body, and she's putting all those photos on Instagram, and she's gets the likes, and that's why she's making that money.
Less than 1,000 followers.
Well, I don't know how many followers she has.
She didn't have a lot of followers. Remember, we looked her up. She didn't have a lot of followers at all.
So are you saying like people are, you're saying that people are paying for her to get stuff?
I'm saying that if she's online on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and she's got a whole lot of followers,
she doesn't.
She's gonna make money off of that. Well, she's gonna make followers now. Her followers are gonna increase now. She's on Married at First Sight.
Yeah, but I think she just, people budget for what they want.
Right.
That's just plain and simple.
True.
She might have like $5 in the bank today, but as soon as she gets paid next week, if there's a Louis Vuitton bag that she wants, she's spending $500 on that bag.
Yes, and her Louis Vuitton shoes.
Yeah.
She's got them Louis Vuitton shoes in the closet, and I'm just like, really? Why would you pay for
that?
And
I think she's a little bit more than a social. I know she works in
something else.
Service.
Yeah, she's something else.
Social service thing, like a mentor or something they said. So I can't remember. And I could see her maybe turning her nose up at somebody who is a fireman. If she really wants somebody from the attitude that she projected. I just look at her and I see trauma. I listen to her and I hear trauma.
Yeah, she's got trauma
going on. And
I agree.
Whether or not, and this is what bothers me about Married at First Sight, they're vetting sometimes. I understand that, it's hard to vet people, but talking to her, you see that she has clear walls up. And it's almost a contradiction too, because in one way she's like, I don't want men to touch me. I'm not going to kiss them on the first date, but hey, look at my boobs and stuff all out on this Instagram page. It's a contradiction.
Right.
So I'm still going to give them a thumbs down, but only because of her. Yeah,
I give them a thumbs down.
He's a leadership coach.
But what the fuck is
what
that?
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Because that's like what to me, like on
she has an OnlyFans as well.
Oh, hell no. She's got an OnlyFans?
He's joking.
I was about to say, Lord Jesus.
She's I don't think
that's gonna work. I'm giving them a thumbs down.
She's a life coach and educator for young minds.
What does that mean?
It says even though her profession is, I don't think.
That's not gonna work. We're done.
Is it gonna come out later that she has like a fake job? Because that doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah,
that could possibly be.
She had domestic violence. That's the injury that you were talking about, the trauma.
Yes.
She had to experience domestic violence in her childhood, all that kind of stuff. So she's so protective of herself that she doesn't want to have any man dominate her or tell her what to do or any kind of stuff. So if she's open to him being a nice, good man for her, that's one thing. But I think she meant, although the trauma from her childhood experience left a scar on her mind, it made her even more determined to build a home free all of violence and conflict. Does she desire a partner who will support her in her endeavor?
Yeah.
I think she's got a lot of trauma. I don't think she's a leadership.
She got too many issues, and that's not going to work.
She's a teacher in public schools. As a teacher in idea public schools, she's got a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies in bilingual early childhood education from the University of Texas Pan America. She got a master's of public administration. So,
okay.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a real tough marriage.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna work.
I don't think it's gonna work. So
unless she takes down her walls and her shit,
no, she needs therapy. Work. She needs therapy.
Yeah, and he's not applying that. He's not gonna give her that. He ain't giving her that.
But if he's an
understanding.
What?
If she has a break and opens up to him about, her trauma or something, he could be understanding and
maybe
work things out with her.
She would have to tear down all her walls
and have sex
and all
with
her boundaries and have sex with him.
Yes.
And tell him and cry.
She's not going to, unless he can show her that she's safe with him.
Yeah.
That's the only time they're going to have sex, regardless of sexual, chemistry, whatever. She has to feel safe before she can sleep with him. And it's going to take her a long time for him to prove to her that he's a nice guy.
I don't necessarily agree with that. Okay. I would like to think that
he's not trying to kiss him on the
I have my boundaries up. Y'all already know my issues. But listen, if we click and we good, I will fuck you.
Yeah, but she said, would you kiss him would you kiss your husband on the wedding day?
Of course. I signed up for Married at First Sight. I'm going to kiss him. If I like him, I'll kiss him.
But that's my point. She's not even doing that.
Right.
She said, no.
She said she's not going to do that. But let's see if she does that. I have a feeling she's going to kiss him. I think she's full of shit.
Okay.
I think she's going to kiss him on the wedding day when she walks down that aisle and she sees him bald head and all, even though she ain't into bald heads. I have a feeling she's going to kiss him after they say, we present to you, the Married at First Sight couple. She's going to kiss him. She may not tongue him down, but she might do the whole peg in the face.
I don't know. I don't think it's gonna work out with them.
I don't think it's gonna work with them, but I think she's gonna kiss him on the marriage. She's gonna kiss him.
Maybe. So the only reason why I think she would kiss him is for public pressure. When everyone's like, "Oh, kissing," and then he goes to kiss or whatever. That's the only way she. Like I don't like.
I can't see her turning away from him.
I liked her too. She was my favorite. I loved her.
Yeah, she was.
Right. I liked her. Yeah.
Seeing her ugliness with even Michaela was like, "Yo," she's like, she talked about it. She's like, Merla. She's kind of uptight with this.
Right. All of them said it. All of them said it about her. Like Merla is like,
it's so funny because again, it's such a contradiction when you look at her Instagram page. And I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but
you saw it was private.
No, I'm just saying when she was showing her pictures and scrolling and you're looking through her wall, I didn't see her Instagram page, but she's scrolling and then she's showing some of her stuff. It's a contradiction to what she's trying to project. And sometimes that's the worst contradiction because you feel like, oh, I can dress the way I want to. But then when men give you attention for that, and it
like,
becomes
why are you looking at my tits? Don't look at my tits.
Yeah, it can become
eyes up.
Ugly situation. And I just feel like she's probably one of those people that will turn it into an ugly situation.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
So,
I'm thumbs down.
We're all thumbs down on that?
Yeah, we're thumbs down. But I have to say, Johnny and Bao are my favorites. And,
That's not going to be easy either.
It's not going to be easy. But I have to say this.
I like them. I really like. I
like them, and I hope that they work out, and I hope that they last forever. But Bao, her name Bao. Every time I hear when I was watching the series, and I'm like Bao, everybody says Bao. She says Bao. Johnny says Bao. Bao. All I think about, I can't get it out of my head, and I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it out. I'm gonna say it out loud. The TikTok dance challenge with all the family members or the girlfriends or the bridal party that, does their little bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. I can't let that go. Every time I see Bow on Married at First Sight, I'm sitting there, I'm like, bow, 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 bow. So I'm saying it for you and everybody on the podcast.
That's funny. Yeah, I like them. I was really liking them in the beginning, and I don't have a standout favorite yet. I think my favorite is going to be Michaela and Zach if they work.
No, my standout favorite right now is Johnny and Bao. Yeah, I like them. Yeah, I love them. I love them, and I believe in the eyes are the windows to the soul. And when I was kind of pissy at Bao when he sent her gifts, and she's like,
that's just her being protective of herself. That's
yeah, and I get that because you don't know who you're marrying. And then when she saw him, she's like, oh my God, that's Johnny. And then when they started talking,
it wasn't like, oh, it's Johnny. She was like, oh, that's Johnny. Like, I know him.
Right.
But I don't think it was a negative thing. I think it was just such a surprise.
Right.
When they started talking to each other, I was like,
I was all in it. The two of them was talking, and I was like, oh my God, that's like, she went to UH, he went to UT, and they were both the presidents of the Vietnamese group. And I'm like, they were talking, and I'm like, oh my God, I love this. I love everything about this. I am all for them. Huh?
Are they going to be the Woody and Amani?
I think they're going to be the Vietnamese Woody and Amani.
No, Woody and Amani, we didn't think that they were going to be from the beginning.
Really?
From the beginning? I didn't think Woody was. If you said, is Woody going to be, Woody and Amani going to work out with Woody's attitude of being a player and all that kind of stuff? But once they got together, it was like,
I agree.
Oh, okay. And they both kind of loosened up a little.
At the wedding, I felt like he was in it at the wedding. But
no, I felt that they were both in it at the wedding, but I didn't know if that was going to last.
I felt like they were both in it. But then when I was listening to his friends and his family, like the people around, I was like, ooh, he's making me nervous. And then the whole grandmother thing, ooh, he made me nervous. But from the beginning, he was solid from the beginning.
Yeah, but I don't think Bao and Johnny don't make me nervous. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, Bao and Johnny don't make me nervous.
They don't make me nervous.
I like them.
The two nerds, they did not make me nervous. I was like, oh, they're fucking perfect for each other. Johnny and Bao.
And the fact that Johnny was talking to her about the tea ceremony, we're going to have the tea ceremony, and she's like, well, I insisted on having the tea ceremony. And I was like, he was like, oh my God, I'm thankful for that. And I was just like,
yeah,
they are on the same level. Well, I might be wrong because they might not make it, but I'm throwing all of my goddamn chips into Johnny and Bao. Johnny and Bao get all my chips.
I'm with it.
Didn't was it Gil that said that Johnny he thought was like super clingy?
No,
who's John?
Johnny wanted a woman. Johnny had said, and he admitted it, that he wanted a woman that was clingy to him. Like he wanted a woman. He's not going to be the man that's going to tell you, I love you first. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be the man that's going to tell you I like you first or I want to be with you. He wants the woman to be clingy to him.
This is different because
he likes that.
He likes
that. He likes to be needed. And that's the only thing I didn't like about him when he said that. I was like, you're the man. Come on, stop. As a woman, I'm opposite. Like as a woman, I'm not. I could be whole head in love with your ass, but I ain't gonna tell you first. You have to tell me first, and you have to show me that you love me and you want me in your life before I even open up. So Johnny is opposite of where I'm at. That's the only difference between me and Johnny. But I like Johnny with bow. Ba 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 ba.
That's it. You got anything, Chris? Are we like wrapping up?
Good to go.
Good to go.
We'll see you on next week.
Monday.
Next Wednesday. Oh well, for the show Wednesday, and we have I guess a good topic coming up on Monday, but we'll
we'll figure that out. Oh, yes, Jesus.
Okay. All right. So we're just gonna close out on this episode of Married at First Sight. The first episode. I hope next week is just 1 hour.
14th season, right?
It's the 14th.
14th.
It's the 13th season. Did you say 13th?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Is it 13th or 14th?
Last time was 14th.
Hello. All right, I'm going to end this podcast. Let's do it.
Yeah, 13.
13. Okay.
All right.
Until next time. Hit that button.
Follow us on our YouTube, our Instagram, Facebook, everything. Bye-bye. We'll see you next week. Don't hang up.